What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing in financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on learning in grad school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation. Additionally, I also want to give a shout out to one of my sponsors, Kilico Solutions. If you need digital marketing, website development, or something to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they are the best in the business of meeting all of your digital needs. And please hit that notification bell as well so that you know when I drop new content. So for this particular podcast, everybody, we're going to talk about 5 numbers essentially that measure your financial success. So with that, let's get started. The first number, everybody, that measures your financial success is your income to debt ratio. So obviously your income is the amount of money that you have coming in, and your debt is the amount of money that you essentially owe that's going to be going out. So if you make $50,000 a year and you have $150,000 of debt, your income to debt ratio is 33%. This is the portion of your money that goes to paying off your debts. Over time, everybody, you want to see that this number decreases. And my advice is that you want to lower this number by around 5 to 10% every calendar year. So Fidelity.com states that a debt to income ratio of 30% and under is, generally speaking, a good debt load. A debt to income ratio of 31% to 50% is an average debt load, and a debt to income ratio of 51% or higher is a high debt load. You want to pay off your car loans. You want to pay off your student loans, and ultimately you want to pay off your house mortgage. And ultimately, over time, you want to make sure that your debt to income ratio is decreasing significantly every year. And you also want to make sure that your investment to income ratio is increasing every year. The first important financial number that you need to know to determine your financial success, everybody, is your income to debt ratio. Next, the next number that measures your financial success is your investment to income ratio. Everybody, I have the saying, invest literally until it hurts. I'm a firm believer, everybody, in the idea that people should start investing as early as humanly possible in their lives. And you should start investing into your 401k, your Roth IRA, and your HSA before you get out of debt. Even if it's only $10 to $15, everybody, my advice is start investing into those accounts as early as possible, because you start utilizing the tremendous power of compounding interest. So if your employer matches your 401k, always invest up to the employer match. If your employer does not offer a match, my advice is to max out your Roth IRA and then build a brokerage account and start paying into that. Essentially, everybody, you want to start taking advantage of the power of compound interest as early as humanly possible. And my mantra, once again, has always been that if you're investing so much money, you have to literally figure out how you're going to move bills around and how you're going to essentially pay for things next month. That means you are probably in the right place with your income to investment ratio. For example, let's say your take-home pay every month is $5,000 and you are investing $500 every month into your 401k. That would mean your investment to income ratio is 10%. In my humble opinion, that number is very low. You should try to get that percentage number as high as possible. And yes, it does kind of depend on where you are in life. So if you're single with no kids and everything, no alimony, no child support, no baby mama drama, none of that nonsense, and you only have student loans to pay, and you also don't have a mortgage to pay, your investment to income ratio, in my opinion, should be about 35 to 45%, because you are literally investing roughly 35 cents of every dollar as you make into a tax efficient investment account. Now, if you're like myself and you're married with a family, you have daycare you have to possibly pay for, you have tutors you have to pay for, you have possibly $1,000 a month grocery bills, mixed martial arts classes for your kids, soccer and basketball classes for your kids, daycare and other expenses. Parental responsibilities is things of that nature. So my investment to income ratio at this point in my life is only around 25%. But I have seen extreme cases, everybody, where people have invested over 80 cents out of every dollar that they make into investment accounts, into their brokerage accounts. And their investment to income ratios are around 75 to 80%. So earlier when I talked about you want your debt to income ratio to get smaller, you want your investment to income ratio to increase over time. For example, let me give you another example, okay? I've consulted with women here in Miami that have a corporate job, and then on the weekends, these women, they work 2 or 3 nights a week bartending at upscale cocktail bars and things of that nature. So these women only invested around 20% of their money they made during their 9-to-5 jobs into their retirement accounts. But they invested roughly 90% of the money that they make bartending and essentially working at cocktail bars and things of that nature into their retirement accounts and into their brokerage accounts and also into real estate here in Miami. Today, these women are in their late 20s, and in less than 10 years, they already have investment portfolios that are over $500,000. So I'm not saying everyone can do that, because obviously if you're married with a family, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to pick up a second job and work nights and things of that nature. But by investing until it hurts, these women have literally changed the financial course of their lives. And if you are middle-aged and older, I'm telling you right now, your older self is gonna thank you for what your younger self did. So every year, everybody, try to bump up your investment to income ratio at least 1 to 2%. And the next number you should focus on, everybody, if you're serious about building generational wealth, is your income to investment ratio. Next. The next number that measures your financial success, everybody, is your credit score. So all of my Dave Ramsey disciples out there are not going to like this one, because I know good old Grandpa Dave makes everybody believe that the credit score is useless. And I'm telling you right now, everybody, ignore Dave Ramsey, because your credit score is very important. Having a high credit score, everybody, is one of the most important numbers that you can have if you are serious about building generational wealth and financially emancipating yourself from poverty. For example, an excellent credit score, everybody, is between 780 to 850. A very good credit score, everybody, is between 720 to 779. A good credit score is between 690 to 720. An average credit score is between 600 to 689. And a terrible credit score is anything that's under 600. I'm going to be real with you. On this particular channel, everybody, I'm going to tell you straight up, you need to have a credit score of above 800, because you get so many benefits by having a high credit score. And the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rates are going to be for mortgages, automobile insurance, and business loans. So literally, over the course of your life, if you maintain an 800 plus credit score, you are literally going to save yourself hundreds of thousands and possibly millions of dollars. And for what it's worth, I'm gonna go here as well. For my minority listeners, when you have a credit score in the 800s, you deal with a lot less discrimination at banks and at credit unions and things of that nature when you are ready to buy a home. And from my experience, I've literally seen bankers' entire face changes when I walk into a bank and I'm applying for something, and essentially they see the amount of money that I make, and they see what my credit score is, and they see my employment history. So some of the benefits, everybody, of a high credit score include better rates on car insurance, lower interest rates on credit cards, lower interest rates on business loans, lower interest rates on houses and cars, and higher credit card limits. Additionally, it also gives you better housing opportunities across the board, whether you're living in an apartment, townhomes, or condos. The two main ways, everybody, you can focus on having a high credit score is to be the type of consumer that credit cards hate, which means that you pay off all of your credit card bills 72 hours before they are due. And secondly, you keep a credit card utilization ratio of under 10%. Now, I did an entire podcast essentially on the benefits of a high credit score, and also how to lower your credit score and the things, and how to raise your credit score. And you should check that podcast out, okay? Because at the end of the day, never pay your credit card late, because you never want to pay those useless and worthless interest fees that come with it. So everybody, the next important financial number that you need to know to measure your financial success is your credit score, to keep that thing as high as humanly possible. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. Please hit that like button. Please share the video. Please comment. Please subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy giving you guys free content, okay? Next, the next number that measures your financial success is your net worth. So everybody, your net worth equals your assets minus your liabilities. It's a good idea to determine your net worth once a year. So let's say you have a lot of money in the stock market. Well, if you watch the stock market every day, it can literally go up or down 20%. If you watch the stock market every 5 or 10 years, it's actually extremely consistent. And over the last 100 years, it has literally averaged around 10% since the Great Depression. So your net worth allows you to look at your entire portfolio. It allows you to analyze your assets and your liabilities, and it allows you to look at areas where you can improve, and allows you to see if you are on track with your financial goals and your Financipation number. The question that my clients constantly ask me is, what should their net worth be? And honestly, it really truly depends on the individual. Fidelity is my favorite brokerage account, and they say at 30 years old, you should have one time your annual starting salary for your net worth. At 35, they say you should have two times your annual salary for your net worth. At 40, Fidelity says you should have three times your annual starting salary for your net worth. At 45, you should have four times your annual starting salary for your net worth. At 50, you should have six times your annual starting salary for your net worth. At 55, you should have seven times your annual starting salary for your net worth. At 60, you should have eight times your annual starting salary for your net worth. And at 70, you should have 10 times your annual starting salary for your net worth. Fidelity, everybody, is a decent metric to use, and honestly, it's not bad. Additionally, or you can go by the median net worth that was done by the Federal Reserve in 2023. People aged 34 and under had a median net worth of $43,000. People aged 35 to 44 had a median net worth of $140,000. People aged 45 to 54 had a median net worth of $255,000. And people aged 55 to 64 had a median net worth of $375,000. People aged 65 to 74 had a median net worth of $420,000. And people aged 75 and up had a median net worth of $340,000. The average person, everybody, lives 20 years in retirement. So I personally tell my clients to multiply their annual salary by 20 and then multiply that number by 2 in order to account for taxes and inflation. And that way they can determine what their Financipation number is going to be in retirement, because that's the number that you want to have when you retire, essentially at 65. Why? Because you're going to live 20 years in retirement. The next important financial number that you need to know to determine your financial success, everybody, once again, is that credit score. The last number that determines your financial success is your expense ratios, your returns, and your planner fees in your portfolio. So this is a stock market reference, everyone. And I want to shout out to all my listeners that use the stock market to build wealth for themselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I love the stock market because it's essentially like having a person work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year that are making money. The first point I want to touch on is the rule of 72 and the year-to-date ratio. So for instance, if you own a stock that returns 12%, if you divide 72 by 12, you get the number 6. That means, everybody, if you invest $1,000 into the stock market at 12%, it will double in 6 years, and your $1,000 investment 6 years later is going to be $2,000. That's the rule of 72. The next thing I want you to keep in mind is the expense ratio of the stocks that you are purchasing. So if you invest into the stock market that has an expense ratio of 0.9%, that means for every $10,000 that you put into there, you're going to lose $90 essentially. That doesn't sound like much, but there are literally hundreds of stocks that have similar portfolios to probably the one that you picked that have an expense ratio of 0. So make sure you pay attention to that expense ratio, everyone, because you can either be paying $90 for every $10,000. You can either be losing $90 for every $10,000 you spend, or you can lose $0 for every $10,000 that you spend. Over the course of multiple decades, everybody, that number builds up. The last number you should pay attention to are fees. I have been very upfront on this channel about the fact that 96% of financial advisors and planners can't beat the stock market over a 15-year period. And I have been very upfront about the fact that the S&P 500 has averaged 10% over the last 20 years, yet the average financial investor and planner has averaged less than 4% over the same time period. In other words, if you invest into the stock market and you don't invest with a financial planner, you are going to make a lot more money over time, 96% of the time. What's interesting, however, is that many of these underperforming financial planners, the guys that suck and can't beat the stock market, they have the nerve to charge you fees for their lousy investing services. For example, if a financial planner charges you a measly 2% over a 40-year period, that $1 million nest egg that you invested your money into is going to mysteriously look a lot closer to $800,000 once you are ready to retire. And if a financial planner charge you a measly 3% over that same 40-year period, that $1 million nest egg that you had is going to look mysteriously closer to $700,000. So by going with both cases, you literally cost yourself literally $200,000 or $300,000 for investing with a person who claims to be able to beat the market, but they can't. And you should have invested essentially by yourself. The last important financial number, everybody, that you need to know to determine your financial successes are the fees and expense ratio and the stock market returns for your investments. And if you follow this channel, you know for a fact I am a firm believer in investing into the S&P 500, into the total stock market index funds. Why? Because they come with extremely low fees. They're extremely diverse. They're very easy. And on top of that, you don't waste money on capital gains taxes, and you also don't waste money investing with an actively managed planner who's going to cost you money in fees and in taxes. In closing, everybody, this channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point, everybody. The link is going to be below. I'm not giving you financial advice on this channel. You must make responsible decisions based on the thorough independent research that you do for yourself, okay? And thanks for listening, everybody. Additionally, please check out my website, www.therealfinancipation.com, Instagram, The Real Financipation. My Spotify is Financipation. My TikTok tribe is Financipation. My Facebook page is Financipation as well. Additionally, check out my financial blog, Financipation, where I go into a lot more detail in regards to like HSAs, legal taxes, and things of that nature, and investing for your accounts. And also check out some of my digital and e-products below as well. Please like, please comment, please share, and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. And thanks, Phil Solutions, for all these dope graphics. It's your boy, Chris. I'm out, everybody. Peace. Peace.